For this example, let's build a bracket. It's probably the most common thing to make. Just make a brake line bracket for a car. Super simple, should be straightforward. So anyways, you're looking at your Fusion screen. If you hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and the middle scroll wheel mouse button, you can move your mouse around and change the view. You will see that the box at the top here is also moving around to like your corresponding movements. I'm gonna go back to the little geometry box thing here and just hit top. And I mean, if you don't see top or whatever, you can just move around. You can even click on the box itself and you can move like that. So you're gonna look around, hit top. Okay, we're looking at top, except I want to turn it over. So you can shift your view around like this with these little arrows here. Sometimes it gets like super confusing. I don't know, you could be disoriented. You can just hit the home button here and it will always center it at this corner. You can change things around in settings and stuff, but let's just leave everything the way it is. I'm just gonna hit top again and we're looking at the top. But to start off, we're gonna go to create and we're gonna hit create sketch. So create sketch is like, think about it like you're just like sketching something on a piece of paper with a pen or pencil. This is called the origin point, by the way. This is the center of all of your coordinates, if you will. So you'll notice the little square lit up, and again, since we're already in create sketch mode, I'll just do it again. I'm gonna click anywhere here. You're gonna see this little tool panel at the top kind of open up. There's some options here. I'm gonna create one line. Just press here, line. That's all we gotta do. And this is our workspace. You can go anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But just keep in mind that this is the orientation we are in. We are in the top view. I'm just gonna make a line anywhere. I left click. You get this thing. It shows you the degrees, the angle, the distance. We're working in millimeters here. Let's just say the bracket is going to be 25 millimeters. Okay. Great. We have our first line over here. Fine. Now let's say the bracket's going to be holding 10 millimeter in diameter brake line. So, same thing at our toolbars here. We hit the circle option. Okay, we're just going to click here and put 10 millimeters. Perfect. And we have our circle. And it's connected to our bracket. So now the next step is we gotta add some thickness to this, because obviously it's one-dimensional right now, or sorry, two-dimensional right now. So we can't do much with it. So to do that, I will split this circle using the line, split it in half. And again, when you're working with like circles and sketch stuff, it's pretty good like locking things in to be like symmetric. So you just go from one end of the circle to the next and you'll get like two halves. You can confirm it by just seeing if they highlight, like this. So okay, we got our circle and we got a line. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this bottom of the circle and turn it into a semicircle. Because if you look, when I highlight the perimeter of it, the entire thing lights up. And I don't want it to light up like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to modify. I'm going to go to break. And then I'm going to highlight the circle. And the circle will break wherever there's a joint or intersection. So what it means is, you're like, because the line is in the middle, you're splitting the circle up right now. So I'm gonna hit break. Okay, it goes through, gives me some warning at the bottom, fine. And the circle's broken. So now I just hit escape to make sure I'm not in any sketch mode or I'm not selecting any lines or anything. You just hit exit and your mouse looks normal. So now if I highlight the circle, you could see the perimeter only lights up the bottom or top half. So obviously I'm going to select the bottom and just hit delete. And now we have a semicircle and the rest of the bracket. So from here, we can give it some thickness. And to do that, what I like to do is I will just hold Control on my keyboard. I will select this line. You can see it lit up. And I will select the bracket line. Once they're selected, you can let go of the control and they'll remain selected. Then just anywhere on the screen, you right click and you'll get like a little menu that pops up. You go to sketch, it gives you like a few little shortcuts here. And you go to offset. Once you hit offset, you can just tell it how thick you want it. So let's just say 2 millimeters. And it offset those two lines that we highlighted by 2 millimeters. So now you'll notice we have the thickness, but it's not like it's not a joined object, and this is considered technical terms a non-manifold object or sketch or drawing, whatever situation is, but it's basically just not connected. So to connect it, we'll just go to our lines from one point to the next, select yes, yes, and now you see it's filled in. Again, hit escape so we don't have anything selected, and now we have this thing filled in. The sketch is filled in. You can see there's the inner one, which we're not going to use, and then the outer one. So okay, at this point, you can just hit E on your keyboard, which is a shortcut for extrude, or you can press finish sketch, which is okay too, and you'll see, you know, you're out of the sketch mode, but you can still see your sketch. It'll also be on your sidebar over here. Not sure why there's two of them here. Let me just hit delete on the first one, and then this is the one that we just made. You can see it highlights the sketch that we have. If you ever want to go back and edit this again on this particular sketch, you can go on the side of the toolbar here. Just in case, 'cause maybe someone doesn't know. If your toolbar's like collapsed or anything, it's a little arrow over here. It's kind of hidden away. You know, you can toggle it on off. Same thing with your sketches. There's like these little arrows. Eventually you'll learn how to like organize them where things go, but for this example, don't worry too much about it. Just you find your sketch, and you can edit your sketch from here. So you right click, and there's the option to edit sketch, and then you're back to where you were basically when you were designing everything. You can also, if the sketch is visible, because sometimes Fusion will hide the sketch from you, to hide or unhide, it's this little eye. If the sketch is visible to you, you can select anywhere on the sketch and right click, and it will say edit sketch. You could go right back into the editing mode like that as well. But anyways, we're done sketching. We have our general shape of the bracket. We are gonna select the inside of the face here and hit E for extrude, or you can go to create and hit extrude here, and you'll even see like quick shortcut keys here. This one's E, H. You can program your own, but again, that's for another time. But okay, so we hit extrude, and you'll see another menu pops up over here. For now, don't worry about anything here. We're just gonna make this, we're gonna make it 15 millimeters. So now we have 15 millimeters here, and you can look around the shape and everything while you're holding shift and your mouse wheel, your middle mouse wheel. You can just orient it. You can also just right click on the sorry, not right click. You could just left click on the orientation cube here and move around. Okay, so we're gonna go back to top view here. look up a little bit. We're satisfied with 15 millimeters. I'm just gonna hit enter. It's like another neat little trick that some people don't know. If you click on an edge, any edge or curve or whatever you're clicking on and highlighting, you'll see at the bottom right, it'll say one edge length 15 millimeters. So because we extruded 15 millimeters, we know it's going to be 15 millimeters wide. So okay, we have our bracket, we have our basic shape. Now we want to put a bolt hole somewhere in the middle here, so you know, obviously we can bolt it down. We will go to create sketch again, and then we will highlight the face where we want to put the hole. So if you see, you know, as I'm moving my mouse around everywhere, faces will light up, and that's the face that you're selecting to be your sketch. In this case, we want the hole through this face, going right through it. So I will select this face. See, there's a highlight now of the new sketch, and the new sketch appeared over here, while the other one is off. So let me just orient it like this. So if I click this, the unhide button, you'll see our old sketch, and our new sketch is obviously at a different angle or whatever, different orientation, and yeah, so you can just go between your sketches. So now we have technically two sketches, like one at the top face and one on the side here. I will turn the old one off because we just don't need it, and we're going to continue to make the hole over here. So to make the hole, it's a circle. I'll use center diameter, and then to find the center of this rectangle that we have here, it's like a kind of like a Fusion shortcut hack. I don't know. I'm pretty sure other programs do it, but this is how you would do it on Fusion. You just move your mouse to roughly where the center is of the line, and you'll see a triangle appear, meaning that's the center line between this point and this point. So once you got your center line on this axis, you want to get the other center point as well. Same thing. You move your mouse till it makes a triangle there, triangle there, and then Fusion will remember them, and you'll see it gives me like two guidelines, and it kind of locks or snaps your mouse into. So that means it's the center of basically this rectangle. See, I lost position again because, you know, that'll happen. You just move around too much and stuff happens. Same thing. Get the center there, lock it in, and we're in the center. So I want my hole to be 8 millimeters. Hit OK. And same thing as before with the extrude. I'm gonna hit E when I've selected the face there, and then just extrude. And you can use the arrow up, down. Obviously, if you go up, we're making a body. If we go down, we're cutting through it, and we want to cut through it. So you can use the arrow, or you can just type in the box over here, or in the little panel over here, and just cut through. If it's not cutting for some reason, or you know, just trying to make a new body, it's just the operations are like mixed up or just changed, just go over here into this tab and then go under cut. I'll explain, I'll explain this in a different video. It deserves its own video. But for this bracket here, we'll just leave it here. We're gonna make the hole and cut. That's pretty much it. That's you know, like your bracket. So here's another thing, you know, like technically the break line is 10 millimeters and this is only half, so the distance here is 5 millimeters. The break line will kind of stick out, and maybe some people don't want that. So one quick thing, because this is like a nice half of everything that you could do, is you can hit S on your keyboard. It's the little shortcut search menu thing. This little design shortcuts thing comes out, and you can just search for features. In this case, I'd like to mirror this, so I will punch in mirror. Mirror comes up. Okay. little panel here. We want to select objects. So this objects thing here, this is for the body that we're working with. This 3D shape that we have now is right now considered a body. So by default, usually this is selected on body. The objects they want to do is this body, the little bracket thing that we made, and then you select the mirror plane. So the mirror plane is from which way you want it to mirror. So if I hit here, for instance, you see the face that like lights up. It mirrors it like that. It gives you obviously a little demo here as well. So it becomes like two halves of the exact same. If I click the little X on the mirror here, we go backwards a step and I can pick the mirror again. So let's say this face, right? So now it's like one of those dual brackets. That's what you're going for. So that's a little use case for mirroring. In this case, I was going to do it on this face, so it kind of closes and sandwiches the line. And you will see under operations here, there's join or new body. So I'll quickly explain the difference here, just to make it easier for anyone. If you want these two pieces to be separate after you mirror it, you will want to press on new body. When you hit new body, you get actual two pieces. So if we go to our little browser section here under bodies, we explode the view for this one, and you'll see there is currently two bodies here. They're totally separate. You can hide one another, you can rename them, you can do whatever you want. So that's what new body does. So if we go back now, let me just delete this. This is another way to get to mirror if you want. No, I lied. So we're gonna go mirror, select the lower face, so we're back to where we are, and then we're gonna, instead of go to new body like before where it's two pieces, we're gonna hit join. You will notice that everything is connected now. So now it's one piece. If this is what you're going for, okay, you're done. Maybe you want to, for some reason, slide your brake line through because, you know, technically it's stronger without any joints. This could be your way of doing it. That's pretty much it for the little bracket tutorial. It's kind of like a rough little first video. But hopefully somebody maybe learned something. I don't know. Maybe give me some future video ideas. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching if anyone watched, and peace out.